Welcome all to this tutorial. Today I will demonstrate how you can use zterm in order to remove an account from multiple services simultaneously. So first off, we have some similarities that we should cover between zterm and zhire. As with zhire, you have a possibility to actually create templates, save them, and duplicate them, remove them, rename them, and so on. Another option that you have is search as well. You have the same option back in zhire as well, but search is useful when you have about 100 of these templates and you don't want to go through all of them manually. Rather, instead, you want to use the search option and to immediately get to where you want to immediately get to the template that you want to use. All you have to do to save the configuration to your template, to save all the things that will be repetitive, is click on File, Save Configuration, and the entire configuration will be saved to the current template. I have some configuration that I have indeed done here, but I will go through it anyway with you. But let's go ahead and I'm going to go ahead and click on Save Configuration. Configuration saved to template 1. Thank you. Just in case so I don't lose it later on. Anyway, the first things first, you have environment config. So we do need to configure our environment variables here. You don't actually need to type in this manually. You just click on three dots and select what you need from here. I'm going to go ahead with cn equals users, and it will create this long string for me. Now you can also reset Active Directory password, but we don't really want to do that now. What we want to do now is actually remove a user from Active Directory. Down below, if you see where it says tasks, you have Active Directory, and then you have General, and then you have a lot of options here. So you can disable an account, I don't know, you can remove an Active Directory group membership, clear Active Directory manager field, I don't know, what else have I missed, reset the password, and so on. Down below at the bottom you have remove Active Directory account, and that is what we want now. We want to remove the Active Directory account. I also have groups here, the same thing with zhire. If you go ahead and click and select Active Directory group, nothing is shown here, but if you don't type anything in here, you can of course type in a group name and then search it, but if you don't type anything in here, you just click on search and you can see that there are immediately a good amount of them, provided of course that they do exist. Okay, so we don't really need this. I'm just gonna go ahead and click on save empty. That is not what we need today, but you definitely can add user to below Active Directory groups and then perform removal. What we need now is to go over to Exchange in the environment config. It is very important that you select the proper version, and then you need a Exchange server fully qualified domain name. Again, no need to type anything in, just go ahead and click here and you will have a list of these. Select from the list and click OK. Is it okay? No, it's actually just click select, which in essence is okay. Anyway, have resourced mailboxes, which you can add, remove here in these two fields, should you choose to do so. Down below where it says tasks exchange, again, you have all the same parameters that you would normally have when doing this procedure manually. So the parameters are the same. You have, I don't know, change distribution. Let's pick a simpler one. Set office out to, well, let's go to mailbox. There's bound to be some simple option. Here you can actually move a mailbox or disable a mailbox, export mailbox, and so on. You have a lot of things here that you can actually use in order to customize it, in order to customize the user deletion more effectively. And so, okay, I want you to delete that user and all the following things with it, or I just want you to delete the user, something of a kind. So the following things would be like the user from the Active Directory would be on Exchange and would be on lunch, but then you would actually delete it on all three services at once. You have some custom attributes here, unified messaging, just type in the pin. That's not really that important to us at present. Rather, instead, if we just go back to Active Directory, I do believe that I have a missed one. There you go. The first one, I didn't miss it, but I read it out. It's called Disable Active Directory Account. So you are able to disable it and remove it. Two very different things. Think about what you want when you use it. So we shall now go from Exchange to Lynch. And all that you can do here is actually just select Disable Lynch Account, give it a domain, fully qualified domain name. You just click on these three dots and choose from the list. That is literally all. No big deal, no problems there. Fairly simple and fast. Now the last part that is alterable, that will change in this particular configuration that I have set here. Oh, by the way, I have done some extra configuration. Maybe I have, maybe I haven't, but it doesn't matter. Just go ahead and save the configuration, rewrite what was already written, and make sure that it is all saved so that you can safely use it later on. Down here in the bottom right corner, it says user config SAM account name. Now you can either type something in here, or you can go where the three dots are, and even though it's empty now, do not be confused by it. Either type in a search term here, or just click search on an empty one, and it will list the SAM account name, display name, first name, I don't know, title, department, and so on. Let's go ahead and use our test user that I have created with zhire. How if I name it? No. Search for it. There we go. So there is Zachno test. That is the user that we wish to delete. So I will simply select it, and there we go. It is there. I have selected Active Directory account. I have selected Exchange mailbox and Lynch account. Now, first of all, let's go ahead and open up our server management environment. Oops. Okay, so let's expand this so we can see it better. Now, let's confirm that these users are indeed here. I do believe that I still have some of the things from my previous tutorial for zhire, and there we go. You have Zachno test. I've left it as it was, and again for Lynch you have Zachno test here, and for Active Directory, hold on, it's somewhere in here. There we go. So Zachno test does indeed exist in the Active Directory. What we need now is to go back to our machine and try an attempt to actually delete all these three users across the board to see how successful will we be. Let's go ahead and click on terminate user, but you can also schedule a termination, and you can actually say which user do you want to perform this action. So feel free to have a look there as well should the need be. Let's go ahead and click on terminate user. Below is the user you're about to terminate. Do you want to continue? Well, it's just giving you some details in regard to that particular user, but if you want to continue, just go ahead and click on yes, and now the process is taking place. Since it's all three services, it does need to connect to all three of them. This might take a bit of time, well, basically 10 seconds, not that long. All three of them have been deleted. Let us go ahead and verify. We'll open up my remote desktop session once again. Let us refresh this page, and there you go. It's gone. I have searched for Zachno, and it is gone, and a moment ago it was there. Let's go ahead and see in the mailboxes. Okay, so it is still there, but let's go ahead and refresh this page. Please. There we go. It's refreshing. It's a bit slow because it's a second remote desktop that I'm using, but oh well. Administrator and Zachno was at the bottom, so let's see if it's still there. No, it is no longer there. You see, that was the last username down at the bottom. It is no longer there. Zachno has indeed been deleted. One more checkup that we need to make here is the Active Directory. So go to Tools, Active Directory, Users and Computers. Let us see if it's actually here. Come on, there we go. Let me just press Z. Nope. it's not actually popping up in the search results, so it is definitely not here either. Here I can scroll down through the entire thing if you want to look at this in the slow motion and analyze every single portion of it to make sure, absolutely make sure it is not there. But I ran a search and it is definitely not here amongst these files, amongst these users. Now that you have seen how Zohno works, try to imagine a situation where you had to log into Active Directory, delete an account there, when you had to log into Exchange mailbox to Exchange and delete an account there, and then you, on top of all of that, you had to log into Lunch account and delete an account there, disable an account there. How long do you think that would take to go through every single individual service and do this practically repetitive task over and over and over again? And then I want you to think about zterm, how fast it was and how little time did we actually need in order to do this. I could have done this in maybe 20 seconds without the explanations, and I would have been able to remove a user from any services that I've deemed fitting. So if I want to delete them from, if I want to disable Lynch, or I don't know, remove it from Office 365 or something like that, I could have done exactly the same thing. There are no differences except for the fields that you fill in. But then again, those fields will be familiar to you. You will know them primarily because they are the same fields that are used on the Windows servers. Here, I will end the tutorial. I hope that you have learned how to use zterm, that you have seen the procedure, and that you are able to adapt it to your needs, and that you will be able to use it in an effective, time efficient manner. I wish to bid you a great deal of luck in regards to using zterm, and may you run in the lowest amount of errors while configuring your servers and trying to make them run. Anyway, I bid you all farewell.